Hello there, lads and lassies. Welcome to Lamplight City. It seems to be a point-and-click style adventure game. We're just going to be taking a quick look at it because, as you know, with a lot of games that I like to play, I like to just do a little bit of a quick look so you guys can get a feel for the games and maybe play them for yourselves. I do play the occasional full game, but usually they've been out for quite a while. Anyway, moving on. New game. Let's check this one out. We've got a little watch there. Little man going across the way. What's happening? Huh. Rough night.
Rough night?
Bit too much Bollingworth ale is all. That stuff really creeps up on you.
Sorry I couldn't join you, but I was long overdue for a quiet night in with Addie.
That's fine. There'll be plenty of other opportunities. Hell, maybe Adelaide can even join us. It's been ages since she last drank me under the table.
Afraid she mostly sticks to tea these days.
Miles, what exactly is it we're looking into? I may have dozed off during the briefing.
We'll go for this one.
Honestly, Bill, one of these days Snelling's gonna notice.
No, he won't. Why do you think they put him behind a desk? The man couldn't find his own backside with a pair of pliers and a lantern.
Very funny. Anyway, it's a burglary at the Hambrook flower shop.
A burglary, eh? How dull. At least we'll have enough time to get a drink afterwards.
You seem awfully certain of that.
I am. In fact, I'd bet the devil my head that we're done within the hour.
Well, the devil's gonna be disappointed that his winnings are so meager.
So, unusually, a fully voice-acted... Ooh, sorry.
Ah, we've arrived.
A fully
After you, Bill.
voice-acted point-and-click adventure. It's actually not that rare. But I've played a couple of games recently where I had to voice absolutely everything by myself. And, you know, it's a refreshing change.
Thank you. Keep the change.
The voices sound familiar.
And so,
It
our
does.
night of excitement begins.
You more than anyone else should know that there's rarely a dull night in Chumley.
I have a feeling tonight will be the exception. Until we get to the pub, that is.
Keep your mind on the case, Bill. Now let's get a
Alright,
move on.
so left click to interact with objects. The mouse cursor is context sensitive. Ooh. It does.
Certainly looks cozy in there.
Plants
Yeah.
have a nice way of doing that.
That reminds me. I should pick up a bouquet for Addie when we're done here.
Seems like you've been spending more time with me than with her lately. I sure hope she's
I
not the
think I
jealous
recognise those voices. I don't know where from. What is that? It's just a glowy thing. I don't know.
I can't believe that thing made it all the way across the Atlantic in less than a week.
type. Don't scoff at the future, Miles. Pretty soon, we'll all be riding those things to work.
Especially considering Prince Harold is their big celebrity
Yeah, Prince
passenger.
Harold does. But let's head in this door here.
Come on, Bill.
It is.
Charming little place, isn't it?
Charming, but empty. We need to find the owner.
Always so to the point, Fordham. If ever there was a better time to stop and smell the flowers.
I think I'll leave that to you, Bill.
With my allergies,
It kind of makes me
hard.
want to replay the Broken Sword series.
Not too many left. Seems business isn't so bad around here.
Well, you know what they say. There are only three certainties in life. Death, taxes,
Well,
people taking advantage of
That's a-
sales.
something to be said for that, really.
These prices are pretty reasonable. The place I go in Worcester's clearly robbing me blind.
If you think those are bad, don't go near the flower shops in Lyon.
Hmm.
Plants hanging on hooks. A nice space-saving method.
I'd probably bang my head against them constantly
True.
if I had them in my
I'm 6
apartment.
and 7, so I get where he's coming from. I don't want to put my lips out, sorry. There we go.
Got a minute, Bill?
For you, Miles, I've got 5.
So let's have a chat with him.
A burglary at a flower shop. Not the most thrilling case we've had, is it?
If I didn't know any better, I'd say Snelling's been giving us the boring cases lately on purpose.
Why would he do something like that?
He's eyeing a promotion to chief of police. He'd sell his own mother's cane if he thought it would help. Plus, there's no secret he doesn't like us.
I can't understand why. I've shown him nothing but respect.
It's because you're too good at what you do. And because you're friends with me.
What's that got to do with anything?
Not everyone is as open-minded as you, Miles. Let's just leave it at that.
You ever miss living out here, Bill?
About as much as you missed stepping in that pile of horseshit last week.
I was distracted by that story you were telling me about your sister. How's she doing out west, anyway?
Well, she's not in the chum, so fantastic. Living here was about as fun as wearing a vest made of meat to a dogfight. I'm glad we both managed to get out. Oh, and by the way, Miles, you didn't do such a great job of cleaning your shoes.
That would explain all the funny looks I've been getting. Still feeling rough, Bill?
Yes, but I'll feel better once this case is finished and we can go down to the Angel for a pint or four.
Hair the dog?
I always
Better
find
medicine.
it weird hearing like an American person saying pint or pub and things like that, but yeah,
Let's get back to it.
All right.
it's unusual.
Mostly a bunch of fertilizer and growth tonics.
Growth tonics, eh?
Yeah.
Plant growth tonics, Bill.
Yes,
Of course.
yes, of course you did.
I knew that.
These seem to be part of the watering system for the flowers.
I haven't seen old piping like this in a while. Seems like someone's reluctant to upgrade.
The staircase isn't very well lit.
I'll go first.
Yeah, go for it.
That way
dude.
you can catch me if I fall.
We should probably ask for
Ask
permission
who, there's
before heading
nobody
up there.
Ah. Helps if you ring the bell, obviously. Ooh.
Be right there. Oh, hello, gentlemen. I must say you caught me by surprise. I was preparing to close soon. May I help you find anything? The flowers in the center display are half price this week, and I have a special on chrysanthemums today. Or perhaps a custom bouquet for the special ladies in your lives?
I have no need myself, but maybe Adelaide would appreciate a
maybe.
little something. Eh, Miles? Those peonies in the corner look nice.
I'm afraid we're not here as customers tonight, ma'am. We'd like to have a word with the proprietor. Is he in?
I see. I'm Cecilia Hambrook, and this is my shop. What can I do for you, gentlemen?
I'm Detective Miles Fordham, and this is my partner, William Legere. We received a report of a burglary at your store.
A report? From whom? I never contacted the police before, and I didn't this time, either.
It was made anonymously. But are you saying this isn't the first time it's happened?
Correct. It's
Three
happened
times.
3 times. But considering the police hardly care about the daily muggings and vandalisms around here, I didn't think they would be interested in something so trivial.
Well, we're here now, and we'll do all we can to help you.
We'll have to see about that.
If you wouldn't mind, Mrs. Hambrook, I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Very well, Detective.
Okay, let's get about ourselves first.
Have you been in business long?
Yes, I opened this shop 30 years ago, along with my late husband, David. But the past 10 years, I've been running things on my own.
Don't you feel unsafe being here by yourself so late into the night?
Detective, when you've lived in this part of town as long as I have, it takes quite a lot to scare you.
Could you give me the details concerning the burglaries?
About 3 weeks ago on Monday, I noticed that my order of Easter lilies was missing. At first, I thought nothing of it. Sometimes certain types of flowers are unavailable or arrive in poor condition. These things happen. Then 2 weeks ago on Wednesday, it happened again. But this time, I noticed something rather odd.
Go on.
When I opened the shop, there were 6 crowns
really
and 10
popular
shillings
today.
on the counter. That's exactly the cost of 2 orders of lilies. Last Friday, it happened yet again. The lilies were missing, and there was payment for 1 order on the counter. I believe that someone has been breaking into my shop after hours, taking the lilies, and leaving money behind.
How unusual.
I mean, that's kind of a weird thing because it's like, I mean, yes, it's breaking into and there's still a lot of theft if they've been paid for. Let's ask about the payment.
So this burglar has been paying for the stolen goods?
That would appear to be the case, yes. I really don't think this could even be considered a crime. That's one of the reasons I didn't bother reporting it to the police.
And the other reasons?
Oh, I think I've already made those quite clear, Detective.
Have you noticed
Hold
any
on.
suspicious characters lurking around?
Detective Fordham, this is Chumley. You can't throw a stone without hitting a suspicious character. And if you've noticed my window, you'd be aware that stones get thrown around quite a bit in this neighborhood. If you're looking for trouble, you're far more likely to find it out there than in here.
I meant if you'd seen anyone out of the ordinary near your shop.
Only the two men from the police who entered it tonight. That is most definitely
Makes sense,
out
yeah.
of the ordinary.
Have you found any evidence of a break-in?
No, the front door is always locked. My assistant Trevor and I are the only ones with the key.
Are there any other points of access to the building?
The upstairs windows, I suppose, but I make sure to keep them locked, and neither of them have been broken.
Would you allow us to have a look upstairs?
Is that really necessary? I was just about to close up the shop.
It won't take but a moment.
Fine, I suppose you may, but please, don't dally
Dilly-dally
too
as long
long.
as I bloody well want, missus.
You mentioned your assistant has the other shop key. What can you tell me about him?
His name is Trevor Hastings, and he has been working for me for the past 10 years.
Do you trust him?
Implicitly. I've known him for ages, and he has been my full-time assistant since shortly after my husband died. You're not suggesting he had anything to do with this, are you?
Not at all. I would like to speak with him, though. Where might I find him?
It's Friday, so he should be on his way back from the docks right now. He'll be bringing my flower order within the hour.
Good. We'll meet him here, then. If that's all right with you.
I suppose I
do,
don't really
actually.
have much of a choice, do I?
I think that's all the information I need for now.
All right,
So, we
Detective.
can go and check up the stairs now.
Interesting choice of decor in here.
Perhaps it wasn't always used as a storeroom, although I can understand why it would have been converted.
Yeah, it is rather drafty in here.
Crafty, you say?
A rather distinguished-looking gentleman.
Reminds me of Captain Snelling, if he ever smiled.
A young lady.
Or maybe
Perhaps a
Ezra?
relation of Mrs. Hambrook?
I can see the resemblance. Sort of.
A heater.
I would imagine that keeping a consistent temperature in here is important for the flowers.
When do you suppose this contraption was last serviced?
Hard to say. Definitely not recently, if the dust buildup is any indication. A pastoral landscape. Definitely nowhere near here.
I never much understood art, but it would be nice to see a place like that in person.
What's this device here?
I've seen this type of device before. It's a special container for growing plants. Specific temperature and water conditions can be adjusted. Seems to be empty right now, though, and judging by the dust, it hasn't been used in a long time, if ever.
It seems Mrs. Hambrook isn't too fond of steam tech, or just doesn't understand it.
Seems to be the broken pot storage area.
Why not just throw them away, I wonder?
It's likely they're going to be repaired. I noticed some faint cracks in some of the pots downstairs.
Right. Check these crates out.
Unmarked, but if the smell is anything to go by, this is where the flowers are stored when delivered.
I'll keep my distance then.
I don't think this window would
No, I
serve
doubt
as a
that
viable
too.
means of entry.
It's a nice view, though. You can hardly see the vomit and manure piles on the street from up here.
So that's the fire escape. Let's check out the buildings.
Lamplight City, in all her glory. This provides a means of escape from the top floor, or access to this window
There's a
from the
gap
ground.
there.
Interesting. There's a gap between the window and the frame here. No wonder it's so drafty in this room. The window
Yeah, until
latch,
someone puts something
securely
through it.
locked. I wonder.
What are you thinking, Fordham?
Yes.
That it's time for an experiment. I'm going to need a tool, however. Something long and thin should do the trick.
Shouldn't be too hard to find something like that around here.
Uh-huh. Who's that it? Let's check the casebook here. Or among thieves, the Hambrook flower shop has been burglarized. Will the burglar return, or is this investigation just a formality? Trevor Hastings, speak to him, find a long, thin tool for the experiment. Yeah, we know
Seems to
that.
be the broken pot storage area.
Why not just throw them away?
It's likely they're going.
Hotspot icons will change when new interactions are available. Uh-huh.
Aha! This hook is exactly what I need. Mrs. Hambrook, may I borrow this hook for a few minutes? It's crucial to our investigation.
Mhm.
Is that so?
Yes, I promise I'll put it back as soon as I'm done.
Please do, Detective.
Okay, so I'm going to go outside. I'm going to go around the back of the building, do the fire escape. How, where, and why. Okay. Let's go back in. Okay, so I'm going to go upstairs here. Over to the window. Yes.
Bill, it's time for our experiment.
And what is this experiment going to be exactly?
Simple. I'm going to see if this hook can get me inside the shop. Rather dark out here.
Watch your step then. This experiment of yours isn't worth a broken
Yeah.
neck.
I'll be fine. Now then, could you please close and lock the window, Bill?
Okay, so. And in we go.
Well, I'd say this is fairly incontrovertible proof that the building can easily be
Yeah,
broken
totally.
into without arousing suspicion.
Where'd you learn how to do that anyway?
You taught me, remember?
Are you sure it was me?
Positive. We were a few pints in at the Angel about 5 years ago, and you decided I should learn how to pick locks.
What else have I taught you how to do while
That
drunk?
would be telling.
That would be telling.
So yeah. So we know now how they're getting in. Oh, this must be Trevor, obviously.
Ah, Trevor.
Evening, Cecilia. I've got the order ready to bring in.
Trevor, these are Detectives Fordham and Leger. They say there's been a report about the burglaries, and they're here investigating.
I only did it because I think it's been going on too long. As much as you want to, we can't handle this ourselves.
We can discuss the matter later. In the meantime, the detective would like a word with you.
I'll be needing to bring in the flowers first, if that's all right. Otherwise, some hooligan's likely to run off with them.
My partner will keep an eye on your flowers. Bill, would you mind?
Ah,
Of course,
the
yes.
glamour of police work.
Now, Mr. Hastings, if I could ask you a few questions?
Go on, then.
But I'm afraid those questions will have to be asked by you. Eventually. Maybe me, I'll play some more. You never know, we'll see how it goes. But for the moment, this really is a fun wee game. I think it's something that I will actually thoroughly enjoy playing through, and likelihood I'll be playing it through with my girlfriend, who really likes these kind of games as well, good detective stories and things like that, and I do love a good point-and-click adventure. So yeah, I would highly recommend this one. If you want to check it out for yourselves, I'll put a link in the description below as to where you can find it. And if you're fans of games like Monkey Island, or Broken Sword, or even Book of Unwritten Tales, or Leisure Suit Larry, any games that's really a point-and-click adventure, or Chicken Police, paint it red. This was something that you'll be able to sink your teeth into. For now though, I'm off, but thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time, but until then, bye-bye!